What is up, guys? Today we got some crazy news, and we are going to get into that in a second. Donald Trump is beefing with Ukraine's president, Vladimir Zelenskyy, and Kash Patel's confirmation is confirmed. So we have a new FBI director. That is all we're going to be getting into today's video, and I'll give you guys my opinions and thoughts on this whole issue. So let's get into that. Apparently, Zelenskyy came out and said that Trump is living in a disinformation bubble, and that triggered a whole slew of things from Donald Trump. And Donald Trump tweeted this. Let's check it out. He said, think of it. A modestly successful comedian, Vladimir Zelenskyy, talked the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into a war that couldn't be won, that never had to start, but a war that he, without the U.S. and Trump, in quotes, will never be able to settle. The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe, and Europe's money is guaranteed, while the United States will get nothing back. Why didn't sleepy Joe Biden demand equalization in that this war is far more important to Europe than it is to us? We have a big, beautiful ocean as a separation. On top of this, Zelenskyy admits that half of the money we sent him is missing, in quotes. He refuses to have elections, is very low in the Ukrainian polls, and the only thing he was good at was playing Biden like a fiddle. A dictator without elections, Zelenskyy better move fast or he is not going to have a country left. In the meantime, we are successfully negotiating an end to the war with Russia, something I'll admit only Trump and the Trump administration can do. Biden never tried. Europe has failed to bring peace, and Zelenskyy probably wants to keep the gravy train going. I love Ukraine, but Zelenskyy has done a terrible job. His country is shattered, and millions have unnecessarily died, and so it continues. So that is what President Trump has said on his platform, Truth Social. And to be honest, I agree with the guy. If you're going to cancel elections, even if there's a war, there's countries that, things go on and they still hold their elections, and that's just normal, right? That's called a democracy, not a bureaucracy, but a democracy. And that is what Ukraine is claiming to be. But the way they are handling the situation and Zelenskyy is handling, I don't know. It is what it is, pretty messy. But let's just check out what some of the other people have said. We also have Laura Loomer, who says, love how Trump admitted that the money we sent to Ukraine has basically been one giant money laundering operation to a dictator who plays victim. We all knew it, he said. So, supposedly, this whole Ukraine war is just a big money laundering operation. But anyways, besides the point, let's see what the deranged people on CNN, the manly Caitlin Collins, is saying about all this.
It's not often these days to hear lawmakers and the Republican Party disagreeing with President Trump publicly on almost anything. When it comes to naming and labeling Ukrainian President Zelenskyy a dictator, though, today we did hear this pushback.
I would certainly never refer to President Zelenskyy as a dictator. It is quite clear who started the war. It was absolutely Russia at Putin's directive.
I do not agree that President Zelenskyy is to blame in any way.
Thank you, guys. President Trump just weighed in that he...
By Russia.
I didn't hear that. I'll let other people use their words. It's not a word I would have used.
Would you call Ukrainian President Zelenskyy a dictator, as President Trump has?
Well, I like I said, the president speaks for himself. What I want to see is a peaceful result, a peaceful outcome.
My source tonight, the Republican senator from Missouri, Eric Schmidt. And Senator, it's great to have you here. You just heard from your colleagues, but on the relationship between Trump and Zelenskyy overall, do you believe it's just essentially fractured at this point? Is there any repairing it?
Well, I think somebody's giving Zelenskyy really bad advice. If the idea is to go on European television and criticize President Trump, who's trying to bring peace to his country, I think that's terrible advice. And so, look, President Trump was pretty clear about this on the campaign trail. He wants to bring peace and end the Ukraine-Russian war, and he's trying to do that right now. And so I just don't think it's a good idea for Zelenskyy to be openly critical, saying he's listening to misinformation. I just don't think it's helpful.
But when Trump says a dictator without elections, I mean, is that a more accurate description of Putin or Zelenskyy?
Well, look, I think he was stating the obvious, which is...
Okay, guys, so as you can see what she's trying to do here, she's trying to paint Trump as the bad guy for calling Zelenskyy a dictator, which I do think it is pretty dictatory to stop elections and just, keep trying to milk this thing, or, the gravy train going, as Trump said in his Truth Social post. So I do agree with Trump, but the way she's trying to spin this, I don't know. Seems like CNN, they got their mind made up, and this guy is setting her straight right now. So let's keep on watching it.
Zelensky ought to have elections and stop lecturing the American president who's trying to bring peace to his country. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people have died. There is no end game here. There's no strategy for victory. So I think President Trump's doing exactly what he campaigned on, which is to bring peace. So I just think it's a flawed strategy by Zelensky. And President Trump, I think, is right to point out that they need to hold elections. I mean, Churchill learned that he lost at Potsdam. Abraham Lincoln ran, against a former general in the Civil War. So if you want to be a paragon of democracy, if you want to hold yourself out there as that, you got to sort of abide by that. And I think, by the way, part of the point of J.D. Vance's speech in Munich, too, was just to say, if you want to be a democracy, you got to live up to those principles and believe in free speech.
Game that out for me, though, because, one, as you know.
Yo, real quick, though. Doesn't she kind of like have some, like, she's kind of manly, like, I don't know what it is, like, definitely she bugs me so much, just her face, like, it bugs me so much, and how she's always just like, and you know what's crazy, guys, she used to be on Fox, like, she's a little, she got paid, and now all of a sudden she's this, like, full left woke, anyway, that's all for another story, but anyway, this is just irritating me, that she keeps trying to spin it her way, or the CNN way, as you might say, but yeah, this is just bad. This is bad. But anyway, let's continue watching, see what they say.
Russia doesn't hold fair elections. You would agree to that, right?
Yeah, 100%.
That Putin has never been fairly or freely elected.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I'm not disputing that.
But Trump is only saying this about one person, though.
Well, Zelensky was being openly critical. I mean, look, the United States of America, and President Trump specifically, is the only person in the world who can deliver peace and end the bloodshed. So I just don't think it's smart.
I want to game out this election thing, though, because I went to Ukraine last year and interviewed Zelensky, and this was a topic of conversation. But in terms of, okay, so say he wants to hold elections as well, because he was democratically elected in the first place, and against someone who was trying to take up too much power. How do you hold an election in Ukraine right now?
Well, we do it. We had it in our Civil War. We had an election during World War II.
We're not having missiles falling on American cities right now, and half of our young men aren't on the front line.
It's just hypocritical to claim that you are a true free democracy when you're unwilling to hold elections. I think that's the only point that President Trump was making. But again, this is all sort of, I think, noise. Ultimately, a lot of it's just going to be depending on how this thing gets settled. President Trump, I trust him. He's a master negotiator, and he's going to, I think, he said in the clip, right, that he loves the Ukrainian people, and I think that's who he's doing this for.
You just talked about all the deaths that have happened as a result of this, but who do you hold responsible for that?
Well, look, Russia invaded Ukraine, right? There's no question about that, but the reality is...
Anyways, that's just what's going on there. As you guys can see, CNN's trying to paint Trump the bad guy. That's all they try to ever do is they, and they're losing on all these issues just because they like to take the 20% of the 80-20. So they just like to take the losing end. And I don't know why they like to do that, but that's the case right now, what's going on. But on other news, let's talk about this. Kash Patel gets confirmed to be the new director of the FBI. And let's see how Adam Shifty Shift is panicking right before they went and voted for this morning. Let's see how he is panicking amongst other leaders as well. Check this out.
Years ago, I served as an assistant U.S. attorney in Los Angeles for almost 6 years. There wasn't a finer law enforcement agency that I worked for at that time, nor have I witnessed in the 30 years since than the FBI. But inside that building right now, there is a purge going on. Inside that building, FBI agents who have dedicated their careers to protecting the public are being purged from their offices. Thousands of FBI agents have been sent questionnaires asking them about their work on the January 6th investigations. And let's just take a moment to understand what that's all about. On January
He's so worried about the January 6th thing, guys, let me tell you, because he was behind it as well. There's a whole corruption behind that. I mean, they did not expect Trump to win this election in such a big landslide in the House and the Senate. So, like, he's panicking because all their corruption is starting to come out. And now they have this new FBI director, so all this information is going to start getting released. The Democrats are panicking, especially this guy, Adam Schiff. He is so corrupt, guys. You don't understand. Like, he was trying to put Trump in jail, like lock him up, which now he's really panicking because the new FBI director, Trump's appointed FBI director, things is going to go, they're going to start moving now. And that is what he's panicking about. And anyways, let's see what he says.
January 6th, a violent mob attacked the Capitol, beat police officers.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt again. So this whole January 6th thing, too, it's a whole huge sham fraud thing. That's why they're so worried about it, because all those files might get released once Kash Patel is the FBI director. And that's what they're worried about, realistically. So I guess we will see what turns out of it all. But right now, that's what they're doing, is they're coming out and they're trying to freak everybody out and say, oh, this is such a bad... They're just panicking. They're trying to cover their asses. So let's keep it going.
Bear sprayed them, gouged them in the service of an even bigger crime, which was stopping the peaceful transfer of power. Not only were these agents who are being purged assigned those cases and did their assignments, but they did so in a righteous prosecution against those involved in attacking police and attacking the peaceful transfer of power. But they're being purged. And the man that they would have head the agency, the man that Donald Trump would have head this agency, is someone who made common cause with those violent attackers. This is someone who...
All right, so now he's just, right before they're voting, continuing, and he's just, trying to hate on Kash Patel and fearmonger the people of why Kash Patel is a bad idea and why things are about to go south. Really, he doesn't care about what, if the people of the United States are safe. He doesn't care. He's just trying to protect his own ass. And that's really what's going on here. And we're not going to listen to him anymore. But on the bright side, let's see his confirmation. So this is from Fox. Let's see. This is when Kash Patel was officially confirmed. 51 yeses and 49 knows. So let's see what that is all about.
Kevin, FBI Director Kash Patel getting 51 votes in a Senate-wide confirmation vote just a moment ago to 49 no's, which means that 2 Republican senators did not vote for him. For that and more, let's go to senior correspondent Chad Pergram, who's following all the moves on Capitol Hill. Chad?
Good afternoon, John. Well, Bernie Moreno, the Republican senator from Ohio, just read the vote total, 51 to 49. Mitch McConnell, the former Republican leader who announced his retirement earlier today, he voted yes. Some people thought he might vote no, but there were...
Yo, that's crazy. Mitch McConnell voted yes on Kash Patel. So far, Mitch McConnell voted no on all of Trump's nominees. I'm pretty sure, at least on Pete Hegseth and Tulsi Gabbard and RFK. So the fact that he voted yes on Kash Patel is shocking, but let's see who they say, hopefully they say, has voted against, out of the Republicans, against Kash Patel. I'm really curious who it is, so let's see.
2 GOP no's. You had Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of Maine. So 51.
Those 2 also voted no on Pete Hegseth, I believe, as well. So it's not surprising, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The point is, he is confirmed, and that's all that matters. Let's see what else they say. I'm watching this live with you guys as it's coming out and reviewing it with you guys. So I'm not really prepared to... This is just my live reaction to this whole thing. I'm just telling you guys how I see it. So
149. They did not need J.D. Vance here to break a tie in this instance. I should note that this is only the second nominee who's gotten more than one GOP no. You had Mitch McConnell, who's voted, being the only no on the Republican side a couple of times here. You have to go back to Pete Hegseth in late January, who got 3 GOP no's. Collins, Murkowski, and McConnell, and Vance had to break the tie to confirm Hegseth as the defense secretary. But he's been confirmed, and now the Senate goes on to the budget debate. This establishes the framework for the president's domestic policy agenda.
All right. Well, that is that, guys. Kash Patel, he's confirmed. Things are about to start getting released. Hopefully the Epstein list, the Diddy list, all that. Kash Patel, he's going to be the new FBI director. I think things are going to start really moving and grooving. Trump is got his team of nominees and everybody confirmed pretty much. I think almost everybody. So things are really starting to look up, and the Democrats, well, they're crumbling. They're in free fall. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you're new, and I know this is a new channel, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I can keep making more videos like this. I'm just going to be basically covering the news as it comes out with you guys and reacting to it as it comes out. You know, not really claiming to be a journalist or anything like that, just doing this for fun because I enjoy watching news and all the crazy stuff going on, especially with Trump being now in office. I love watching the Democratic Party melt and just make mistake after mistake after mistake. And I hope whoever is watching this as well enjoys this type of content. So subscribe, like this video. It'll help me with growing this channel and making more content for you guys. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.